Week 3 of the New York Jets OTA practices are officially underway. And with that being said, we have more news, notes, highlights, observations from today's practice. And in this video, we're going to break down pretty much everything you need to know about today's practice and a couple of guys who have stood out since day one of OTAs, and I believe they start mandatory minicamp next week, so that'll be a lot more fun, more film, more highlights with that, 7-on-7 highlights as well, so I'm excited for that. Before we jump into the video though, I do want to give a big shout out to the Jets media team. They do such a good job, work so hard at getting these highlights out for us, which kind of at the end of the day enable us to make these videos where we update you what's going on in practice. So go give them a follow on Twitter. You'll see 3 at the top left of your screen. Those are the guys who, keep me updated the most, so they'll keep you updated as well. Go follow them for immediate, news and highlights for the rest of the offseason. But with that being said, let's kind of jump into the video and talk about a couple of players who have stood out, at least in my eyes and some more media members' eyes as well. Now, the first thing I want to talk about here is a couple of running backs. Now, Breece Hall has missed some time due to some injuries, and we'll talk a little about that in a minute. But I do want to bring up 2 guys who have really taken a massive step in the right direction from the start of rookie minicamp to now. Dude, Isaiah Davis and more importantly, Braylon Allen are 2 guys who have just, look like they're acclimated to the NFL play style already. And that is that's the biggest takeaway I've seen already. It usually takes rookies a couple of weeks to really, in a couple of months, right? Even in training camp, it takes some time to really adjust. But they've already done it here in OTAs, so that is such a good thing to see. Braylon Allen is a massive human being. Looks like he's going to be someone who will be utilized, especially in the passing game as well. In 11-on-11s, Aaron Rodgers under center. Allen caught 3 checkdowns from Braylon Allen caught 3 checkdowns from Aaron Rodgers, making a leaping grab on the sideline for a big gain. He also had 49 catches in 3 seasons for Wisconsin, but early in OTAs so far, the man looks better. He looks tough, he looks physical, but also looks really short-handed, and someone that they have a lot of high hopes for to at least be the number 2 to Breece Hall. Now, obviously, with Breece Hall dealing with some lower half nagging injuries, looks like he will be fine eventually, but as of right now, a lot of these younger guys are getting the reps, right? Israel, you also have Braylon Allen, you have Isaiah Davis. These guys are really starting to play at a high level, and it looks like Braylon Allen could run away with the number 2 job on this football team for the running back room, and so far so good. We don't really know when Breece Hall will be back, but what we do know and what we have found out as of recently is that, listen, if Breece Hall has to miss a game or 2 during the regular season at some point for whatever it may be, they have some really good backup options. Some guys that can step in and make some really good impacts at a high level right away. And I think Braylon Allen has, only showed that right away. So definitely love that side of things in the running back room. But some other guys who have really stepped up is a defensive rookie, Quantez Stiggers, man. Multiple reps against the first team, which, kind of points out right away that they have a lot of high hopes for Quantez, right? They believe that he can step in here and be someone that can make an impact in year 1, right? Usually it takes, again, rookies sometimes to really come in here and make some noise, but for a 5th round draft pick, he has stepped up and he is making an impact right away for this team as well. And again, taking some first team reps, going up against Allen Lazard, having some really good coverage, breaking up some big time throws. And not only is he lining up against some big-time wide receivers like the Allen Lazards and the Garrett Wilsons, but he's also showing some versatility against Tyler Conklin and Kenny Yeboah, right? There was one pass from Rodgers to Yeboah, left everyone in awe. Yeboah is someone that is definitely a good player, and he's standing out over the last few weeks as well. So the fact that he's going against some of these tight ends is, something that we have to keep an eye on out going forward. Chuck Clark was another guy who is kind of looking good so far in camp. I think he's got some room to grow and some more opportunity to continue to build chemistry with these with his DB room. But overall, I thought he was pretty good as well. You know what was interesting to me? Tariq Cohen. Now, if you guys don't know, Tariq Cohen is someone that they just brought over a couple of maybe a week ago, right? And he was starting. He got some starting reps as a running back out the backfield who can really catch a football, make a play with the football in his hands, and an absolute playmaker as well as a return man that with the new kickoff return could be someone they utilize a ton. So definitely looking forward to what Tariq Cohen is going to continue to do over the next couple weeks. Now, before we get any further into this video, guys, do me a big favor. Hit that like button just so we can get this video out to more Jets fans around the world. But also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And we will be covering the Jets throughout the entirety of the offseason. Now, what that may include is the rest of OTAs, mandatory minicamp next week, training camp, preseason, regular season, and once the season does start, we're going to be breaking down film with the all 22 coaches film. So, listen, you're going to want to join the family if you haven't already done so. It's going to be a great season, and it's going to be, a lot of film to break down. Aaron Rodgers looks, on point. Looks like he is almost 100% ready to go. And he's still building chemistry as well. I think Alan Lazard has struggled a ton getting it going, but I know that Aaron Rodgers has a ton of faith in him, and I think they're going to continue to try to ramp him back up for the start of the season. What else have we noticed? Oh, today at practice, Nick Mangold was there. He was trying to give some advice to some of the young guys here on the offensive line. Even a guy like Joe Tippmann, who was a second-round pick of last season, trying to give some help to Elijah Vera Tucker. And, it's interesting because Nick Mangold was a dog here for so long, man. So if he could come in here and be somewhat of an influence on some of these younger offensive linemen, that could be huge. And overall, you look at this offensive line, they've done whatever it took to make sure that Aaron Rodgers could be, healthy in the pocket, right? Teron Smith, Morgan Moses, John Simpson, right? Joe Tippmann, Elijah Vera Tucker. I mean, they have so many guys here that can help. And then you draft Olu in the first round. So I am very excited to see a much improved offensive line this year, trying to keep Aaron Rodgers healthy. And overall, you have veterans, you have young pieces. This is beautiful. This is what you want to see, from a team like the Jets who struggled keeping their quarterbacks, healthy in the pocket last season. This year it should be a lot different, and they've made some really good strides from the jump of the offseason to now. I thought they've done a really good job so far. But overall, the guys who have stood out, at least in my eyes, the running back room, Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. We also have Aaron Rodgers looking like he's getting back to normal. Jeremy Rucker is trying to really take over and take a major step up this season. But Tyler Conklin, according to coaches around the Jets, say, hey, this is one of the best contested catchers in the entire NFL, not only on our football team, but in the NFL. Quantez Stiggers, another guy who is really breaking out here in the secondary. Got to see a little bit of Jalen Key, Mr. Irrelevant, right? So, hey, so far, so good. Hassan Reddick has not been at practice, but they do believe he will be available for mandatory minicamp next week. But this is allowing Will McDonald, the first-round pick of last season, to really get some more reps. So far, so good here in New York. Let me know what you guys think about practice so far. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next New York Jets update. Peace.